Hello students, welcome you all back to the problems of binomial distribution. So previous video we have started the topic theoretical distribution. So I have explained you in detail regarding what is theoretical probability distribution and what are the different types of theoretical probability distribution. The most important was binomial. The first theoretical probability distribution is binomial probability distribution. So if you have not watched the previous video, please go back to the first video on theory of this theoretical probability distribution and come back to the problem. Otherwise, you will not be able to completely understand the problems. The problems are based on theory. And secondly, I expect that everybody have got the hard copy of the problems which I am explaining here. The problems you can get it from the link under my description. In my description, you'll find the link. Take a printout, hard copy of the problems and keep it ready before watching the video. Then only you can be able to understand the problem. Come on, let's begin with the first problem on probability distribution. See the first problem. The probability of happening of an event in an experiment is 0.4. The probability of an happening of an event is 0.4. यानी वो इवेंट होगा उसकी प्रोबेबिलिटी 0.4 है तो नहीं होने की प्रोबेबिलिटी क्या 0.6 है because always the total of the probability is 1. This I am going to explain in the coming videos where we discuss about probability theory. In probability theory we'll go in depth in probability, but time being you remember the total maximum probability value is 1. So 0.4 is the probability that the event of happening of the event. So we denote in binomial probability, we denote P is equal to probability of success and Q is equal to probability of failure. So once if you have the probability of success, easily you can find out the probability of failure. Agar for example probability of success 0.8 hai, 0.8 is the probability of success. So automatically 1 minus 0.8, 0.2 is the probability of failure. Similarly, probability of success P is equal to 0.6. So probability of failure Q is equal to 1 minus 0.6, 0.4. Like this we can do. So here in our first problem, the probability of happening of an event in an experiment is 0.4. Find the probability of happening of the event at least once, minimum once, if the experiment is repeated 3 times under similar conditions. If the experiment is conducted 3 times, what is the probability of happening of the event at least once? कम से कम एक बार वो event happen होना. Out of how many times? 3 times. So binomial probability theory, I have already explained in the previous video. This binomial theory law will be applied whenever the experiment is repeated a fixed number of times, where the value of P should not change from one trial to another trial. Those are the conditions to apply binomial. Now we'll come back to the solution. Now, see here. P stands for probability of happening of an event in our problem. In our problem is success is the probability of happening of an event. So P probability of happening of an event 0.4 given in the problem. Q already we know once we get to P we can easily get Q. How? 1 minus P. 1 minus P kar do hamesha in always in this binomial law. Q is equal to 1 minus P. So 1 minus 0.4 you'll get 0.6. And how many times we are repeating the experiment? 3 times. So we are having P, Q, N. Since N is fixed and P remains constant for every trial, we apply binomial probability law. See here, in the problem it is not specifying that you have to apply binomial probability law. Then how we can be able to know that it's a problem of binomial probability law? Condition. What is the condition given? This binomial probability law will be applied whenever the number of trials are fixed. Here number of trials are fixed 3 times. Here the probability of success P remains constant from one trial to another trial. P ka value change nahi hona. Every trial the value of P should remain constant. अब यहाँ पर constant है. The probability of happening of the event is 0.4. कोई भी इवेंट हैपन होने की प्रोबेबिलिटी 0.4 है, चाहे वो फर्स्ट इवेंट हो, सेकंड इवेंट हो, थर्ड इवेंट हो. तो P remains constant for every trial. Number of trials are fixed, so we apply binomial probability law. This is the first problem. That's why I have written a complete sentence here. In the coming problem, I am not writing this sentence. According to it, the probability of R success. Binomial probability law में formula P of R is equal to NCR, P to the power of R, Q to the power of N minus R. This will give you probability of R successes in N trials. N trials अगर कर रहे हैं तो N trial में R successes की probability क्या होगी? Now we substitute P of R is equal to N. How much is the N value here? 3. CR. P, how much is the P value? 0.4, 0.4 to the power of R. Q, how much is Q? 0.6 to the power of 3 minus R, N3. अब ये फॉर्मूला अप्लाई करेंगे. क्वेश्चन क्या पूछ रहा? What is the probability that at least once the event should happen? At least once. यानी 3 बार में कम से कम एक बार, कम से at least का मतलब होता है कम से कम, minimum. Minimum once. तो probability of happening of at least once. That is P of R greater than equal to 1. It is not saying 1. Concentrate my wording. Give full focus concentration on my lecture. It is not saying exactly once. What is the probability that the event should happen? One time. If it is saying one time, then we would have written P of R is equal to 1. R is equal to 1. But it is saying at least once. यानी 3 में कम से कम एक बार होना. एक बार भी हो सकता, 2 बार भी हो सकता, 3 बार भी हो सकता. तो P of R greater than equal to 1. तो P of R greater than equal to 1 फॉर्मूला P of 1 plus P of 2 plus P of 3. क्योंकि P 1 या 1 से ज्यादा बोल रहा हूं, तो 1 से ज्यादा क्या है? 2 है, 3 है. Because maximum 3 times. P of 1 plus P of 2 plus P of 3. तो ऑल्टरनेटिव. अब 3 बार आपको मालूम करना है P of 1, P of 2, P of 3. अब इसको टाइम कंज्यूमिंग है. इसका शॉर्टकट मेथड भी है, ऑल्टरनेटिव मेथड भी है, जहां पर कम टाइम में सेम आंसर विल गेट. Same answer. तो P of R is greater than equal to 1 minus P of 0. तो P of 1 से पहले क्या आएगा? Before 1, 0 comes. तो we subtract P of 0. 1 minus P of 0 और P of 1 plus P of 2 plus P of 3. दोनों से आपको आंसर सेम आएगा. चाहे ऐसा कैलकुलेट करो या ऐसे कैलकुलेट करो. अगर ये कैलकुलेट करेंगे तो let it be, it will take 10 minutes time. Whereas if you follow this method, the problem will be completed in 5 minutes. 5 मिनट में यहाँ पर आंसर आता है या 10 मिनट में आता है. तो कौन सा बेटर है? 5 minutes. राइट? तो 1, 2, 3 मालूम करो या 1 में से P of 0 निकाल दो. राइट? तो P of 0. P of 0 का मतलब 3C0. R की जगह पे मैं 0 ले रहा हूं. In place of R, I am taking 0. So 3C0, 0.4 to the power of 0, 0.6 to the power of 3 minus 0. यही फॉर्मूले. ये कंप्लीट फॉर्मूले में R की जगह पर मैं 0 ले रहा हूं. इन प्लेस ऑफ R आई एम टेकिंग 0. 3C0, 0.4 to the power of 0, 0.6 to the power of 3 minus 0. Right? Now, 3C0. Actually, if you calculate, definitely you will get 1. But I suggest you not to calculate. You remember some rules. NC0 is equal to 1. Here I will write NC0 is equal to 1. उसी तरह NCN is equal to N. These rules you remember. N की जगह पे कोई भी नंबर 5C0 is equal to 1, 10C0 is equal to 1, 20C0 is equal to 1. N की जगह पे कुछ भी वैल्यू डाल दो, C0 अगर लिखेगा तो 1 आएगा. Whether you calculate or remember the rule. Similarly, NCN, 10C10. 10C10 you will get 10 only. Right? 5C5 you will get 5. 15C15 you'll get 15. These are the rules. Even if you calculate, you'll get the same answer. So remember the rule. So here I am applying 3C0 is equal to 1. 0.4 to the power of 0. When anything is raised to the power of 0, it will become 1. Mathematically, कोई भी value को power 0, a to the power of 0 is 1. X to the power of 0 is 1. 5 to the power of 0 is 1. So 0.4 to the power of 0 is 1. Similarly, 0.6 to the power of 3 minus 0 is 3. 3 minus 0 is 3. So 1 into 0.6, 3 times multiply करें 0.6 into 0.6 into 0.6. You will get 0.216. 0.216 you are going to get. Right? So P of R greater than equal to 1 is equal to 1 minus P of 0. So 1 minus 0.216 is equal to 0.784. 0.784. Therefore, probability of happening of the event at least once is 0.784. 3 इवेंट में से 3 ट्रायल में से कम से कम एक बार इवेंट हैपन होना, उसकी प्रोबेबिलिटी 0.784. That's it. This is the first problem. I've explained you in detail. If you coolly concentrate on the explanation, second, third problem will not at all be difficult because all the problems are based on this type of explanation only. Right? Come on. Second problem you see. The incidence of a certain disease is such that on an average 20% of workers suffer from it. Incidence of a disease. Suppose in some factories, some disease may occur. The probability that the worker will suffer from the disease is 20%. 20% of workers will suffer from it. So P stands for probability that the worker will suffer from the disease, 20%. If 10 workers are selected at random, N is equal to 10. Find the probability exactly 2 workers suffer from the disease and not more than 2 workers suffer from the disease. So total number of workers are 10. So we'll put the data in notational form. P is equal to probability of suffering from the disease, 20% given in the problem. So P is equal to 0.2, 20 by 100, 0.2. Q is equal to 1 minus P, I already explained you. P अगर दे दिया तो Q ऑटोमेटिकली मालूम कर सकते हैं 1 minus P, तो 1 minus 0.2, 0.8. N is equal to 10 workers. According to binomial probability law, probability of R successes is P of R is equal to NCR P to the power of R Q to the power of N minus R. तो ये लिखना बेटर है कि binomial probability law अपना फॉर्मूला क्या दे रहा. तो according to binomial probability law, P of R is equal to NCR P to the power of R Q to the power of N minus R. Here R को छोड़ दो, P of R तो हमको लेना है अभी. N is equal to 10, तो N के प्लेस पर 10, CR, P के प्लेस पर 0.2 और Q के प्लेस पर 0.8. This is the formula we are going to apply. Probability that exactly 2 workers will suffer from the disease. 2 questions are asked. The first question, what is the probability that exactly 2 workers suffer from the disease? That is R is equal to 2. तो R के प्लेस के ऊपर 2 लगा देंगे, तो P of 2. अब ये फॉर्मूले में R के प्लेस पर 2 रखा, तो 10C2 0.2 to the power of 2, 0.8 to the power of 10 minus 2. अब देखिए 10C2 का मतलब 10 factorial divided by 2 factorial into 10 minus 2 factorial. Already in theory video I have explained. That's why I am saying if you have not watched, please go back to the theory. तो 10 factorial divided by 2 factorial into 10 minus 2. 10 minus 2 का मतलब 8. तो डिनोमिनेटर में 8 फैक्टोरियल हो रहा, तो न्यूमरेटर में भी मैं स्टॉप कर देता हूं 8 फैक्टोरियल. 10 into 9 into 8 फैक्टोरियल डिवाइडेड बाय 2 फैक्टोरियल का मतलब 2 into 1 और 8 फैक्टोरियल. 10 minus 2 is 8 फैक्टोरियल. अब 8 फैक्टोरियल will get cancelled. 2 1s are 2, 2 5s are 10, 5 9s are 45. हो गया, ये पूरा सॉल्व कर लिए तो 45 आ गया आपको, राइट. 0.2 to the power of 2, 0.2 into 0.2, you'll get 0.04. 0.8 is multiplied 8 times. 0.8 को 8 times multiply करिए, you'll get 0.16777. You try yourself, you should get this answer. Otherwise, see here, calculating mistake if you do, you are only responsible. You should calculate accurately on your calculator. राइट, तो कैसा कैलकुलेट करेंगे? 8 टाइम्स चाहिए, तो आई विल एक्सप्लेन यू. 0.8, इट इज 0.8 8 टाइम्स, तो 0.8 इंटू इज इक्वल टू 2 टाइम्स हो गया, फिर इंटू इज इक्वल टू 4 टाइम्स हो गया, इंटू इज इक्वल टू 0.8 इंटू इज इक्वल टू 2 टाइम्स, इंटू इज इक्वल टू 4 टाइम्स, इंटू इज इक्वल टू 8 टाइम्स, तो 0.16777, 0.167 इजीली. खाली 2 बार करना है तो इंटू इज इक्वल टू, फिर 4 बार करना है तो फिर इंटू इज इक्वल टू, 8 बार करना है इंटू इज इक्वल टू, राइट. नाउ कैलकुलेट योरसेल्फ एंड सी. 8 टाइम्स, अदरवाइज आप 8 टाइम्स अलग अलग मल्टीप्लाई करिए, यू विल गेट 0.16777. तो 45 इंटू 0.04 इंटू 0.16777, 0.302. तो probability that exactly 2 workers will suffer from the disease is 0.302. First answer completed. Now second, what is the probability that not more than 2 workers will suffer from the disease? Not more than 2, 2 से ज्यादा नहीं, तो इसका मतलब 2 या 2 से कम, 2 या 2 से कम. Not more than 2, यानी 3 4 5 6 नहीं आना, 2 या 2 से कम, तो R is less than or equal to 2. Here students will commit the mistake in understanding this wording. So give more concentration. Not more than 2 का मतलब 2 या 2 से कम. तो P of R less than equal to 2. तो P of R less than equal to 2 is equal to P of 0 plus P of 1 plus P of 2. 2 या 2 से कम क्या आएगा? 0, 1, 2. तो P of 0 is equal to 10C0, 0.2 to the power of 0, 0.8 to the power of 10 minus 0. 10C0, just now I told you here, NC0 is equal to 1. तो 10C0 क्या आएगा? 1 आएगा. 0.2 to the power of 0 is 1. Anything raised to the power of 0 will be 1. Then 0.8 to the power of 10. अब 10 times चाहिए. Yes, 10 times. तो क्या करेंगे? 8 times already you have multiplied here. देखिए shortcut. 0.8 you have multiplied 8 times. How much you got? 0.16777. ये 8 times हो गया. हमको कितना चाहिए? 10 times चाहिए. तो ये वैल्यू को 2 times multiply करो. This value you multiply 2 times. 0.8 into 0.8. Right? इसको एक बार multiply करो 0.8, फिर multiply करो 0.8. 10 times आ जाएगा. तो ultimate answer तीनों को multiply कर दो 0.1074. तो 0.1074 is P of 0. Now we have to calculate P of 1. P of 1 is equal to 10C1, 0.2 to the power of 1, 0.8 to the power of 10 minus 1. 10C1 is equal to 10. Here I have told you. 10C1 आपको 10 आएगा. Here NCN is 1. Sorry. NCN is equal to 1. And here how much? 10C1. NC1 is equal to N. Yes. NC1 is equal to N. Right? NCN is equal to 1. NC0 is equal to 1. Here NC1 is equal to N. So 10C1 is equal to 10 you will get. Even if you calculate you will get the same value. Then 0.2 to the power of 1 is 0.2 into 0.8 to the power of 9. So 10 into 0.2 into 0.8 is multiplied 9 times. So 8 times already you have calculated here. 8 times you have calculated here. Only one time you multiply 0.8. इसको 0.8 से multiply करो. You will get 0.134216. So multiply all you will get 0.2684. This is P of 1. P of 1. Now P of 2. P of 2 already you have calculated here. P of 2 का value यहाँ पर आ गया है 0.302. 0.302. Now P of R less than equal to 2 is equal to P of 0 plus P of 1 plus P of 2. तीनों values को add करो 0.6778. तो probability that not more than 2 workers will suffer from the disease is 0.6778. That's all. So this is the end of problem number 2. End of problem number 2. Come on, let's start problem number 3. 2 problems already we have done. See the third problem. The occupational hazard in an industry is such that the workers have a 20% chance of facing it. So in a factory, so in an industry, there is a chance of 20% that the worker may contract the disease, may face the hazard. What is the probability that out of 6 workers, 4 or more will face the hazard? So total number of workers are 6. So we can take N is equal to 6. We are given P, probability that the worker will suffer from the hazard, that is given as 20%, 0.2. So P is equal to 0.2, Q is equal to 1 minus P, 1 minus 0.2, 0.8. N, total number of workers are given 6. And we have to find out what is the probability that 4 or more. 4 or more का मतलब 4, 5, 6. What is the probability that 4 workers, 5 workers or 6 workers will contract the disease? So first we write the information. P is equal to probability of occupational hazard, that is given 20%, 0.2. Q is equal to 1 minus P, 1 minus 0.2, 0.8. N, 6 workers. So according to binomial probability law, why I am applying binomial probability law? Because the condition says N should be fixed and P should remain constant. So N is fixed because we have only 6 workers, not more than 6. And P, probability that the worker will suffer from the disease, 0.2, remains constant for any worker. So according to binomial law, probability of R success is P of R, NCR, P to the power of R, Q to the power of N minus R. तो 6, n is equal to 6. 6CR, 0.2 to the power of R, 0.8 to the power of 6 minus R. Now we need what is the probability that 4 or more workers will suffer from the disease. That is, R is 4 or greater than 4. R is greater than 4. 4 or more than 4. So R greater than equal to 4 is equal to P of 4 plus P of 5 plus P of 6, because only 6 workers we have. Right? So we'll calculate P of 4. 6C4, 0.2 to the power of 4, 0.8 to the power of 6 minus 4. 6C4 का मतलब 6 factorial by 4 factorial minus into 6 minus 4 factorial. तो देखिए न्यूमरेटर डिनोमिनेटर में 4 फैक्टोरियल है, तो मैं न्यूमरेटर में भी 4 फैक्टोरियल पे स्टॉप कर दूंगा. 6 into 5 into 4 factorial, because this 4 factorial will get cancelled. 6 minus 4 is 2. 2 factorial का मतलब 2 into 1, right? अब ये 4 factorial will get cancelled. 2 1s are 2, 2 3s are 6. So 3 5s are 15 only. 3 5s are 15. You can see here. 4 will get cancelled. 2 1s are 2, 2 3s are 6. 3 into 5 is 15. So 15 into 0.2 is multiplied 4 times. 0.2 into 0.2 into 0.2 into 0.2. You'll get 0.0016. 0.8 square, 0.8 into 0.8, 0.64. So if you multiply all, you will get 0.01536. This is P of 4. Now we need P of 5. P of 5, 6C5, 0.2 to the power of 5, 0.8 to the power of 6 minus 5. तो 6C5 का मतलब 6 factorial divided by 5 factorial into 6 minus 5 factorial. अब डिनोमिनेटर में 5 factorial है, तो न्यूमरेटर में भी 5 factorial पे स्टॉप कर देंगे. 6 into 5 factorial. 6 into 5 factorial. So 5 factorial will get cancelled. And 6 minus 5 is 1. 1 factorial will be 1. 1 factorial always will be equal to 1. So 5 will get cancelled, remains 6. So 0.2 to the power of 5. 5 times you multiply 0.2 into 0.8 to the power of 1. 0.8 to the power of 1 means 0.8 only. So if you multiply all, you will get 0.001536. This is P of 5. So we got P of 4, we got P of 5. Now P of 6. P of 6, 6C6, 0.2 to the power of 6, 0.8 to the power of 6 minus 6. Now see, 6C6, 1. Previous video I told you, NCN is equal to 1. NCN is equal to 1. So 6C6 is equal to 1. 0.2 to the power of 6. Multiply 6 times 0.2 into 0.2. 0.8 to the power of 6 minus 6. 6 minus 6 is 0. When anything is raised to the power of 0, it will be equal to 1. So P of 6 we got 0.000064. 4 times 000064. So P of R greater than equal to 4 is equal to P of 4 plus P of 5 plus P of 6. So P of 4 we got it here. P of 4 here, 0.01536. P of 5 we got it here. P of 6 we got it here. तीनों को multiply करो 0.01696. So therefore probability that 4 or more workers will get the hazard, will suffer from the hazard is 0.01696. That's it. This is the problem number 3. Now problem number 4. See the fourth problem. If the chance that a vessel arrives safely at a port is 9 by 10, find the chance that out of 5 vessels expected, at least 4 will arrive safely. देखिए, the probability that the vessel will arrive safely, ship will arrive safely at the port. Port पे safely arrive होने की probability 9 by 10 है. 9 by 10 का मतलब 0.9, 90%. So 0.9 is the probability that the ship will arrive safely at the port. तो 0.9 safely है, तो इसका मतलब क्यों? Not safely. 0.1 is the probability that the ship will not arrive safely. Then how many ships are there? Find the chance that out of 5 vessels, 5 ships are coming. So what is the probability that at least 4 ships will arrive safely out of 5? 5 में से 4 ships safely arrive होने की probability क्या है? तो first we write P is equal to probability that the ship arrives safely, 9 by 10, 0.9. Q is equal to 1 minus P, 1 minus 0.9, 0.1. N is equal to 5 ships. According to binomial law, P of R successive, P of R, NCR, P to the power of R, Q to the power of N minus R. तो 5CR, 0.9 to the power of R, 0.9 यहाँ पर है, P. और Q के प्लेस पे 0.1 to the power of 5 minus R. Probability that at least 4 ships will arrive safely at the port is P of R greater than equal to 4. At least 4 बोल रहा है, कम से कम 4 ships, कम से कम 4, तो 4 या 5. Maximum ships are 5 only. तो P of 4 plus P of 5. तो पहले P of 4 मालूम करेंगे, 5C4 0.9 to the power of 4 0.1 to the power of 5 minus 4. 5C4 का मतलब 5 factorial divided by 4 factorial into 5 minus 4. 5 minus 4 is 1 factorial. Right? तो इसको 5 factorial का मतलब 5 into 4 factorial पे रख देंगे. 5 into 4 factorial. Numerator में 4 factorial, denominator 4 factorial will get cancelled. Cancelled. 1 factorial का मतलब only 1. 1 factorial means 1. Then remains 5. Ultimately बचता क्या हो numerator में? 5. Then 0.9 या 5 लिख दिया. 0.9 is multiplied 4 times. 0.9 into 0.9 into 0.9 into 0.9 into 0.1. 5 minus 4 is 1. So 0.1 to the power of 1 is 0.1 only. So multiply, you will get 0.32805. This is P of 4. Now P of 5, 5C5, 0.9 to the power of 5, 0.1 to the power of 5 minus 5. 5C5 is 1. Already in the previous video I told you NCN is equal to 1. So 5C5, 1. 0.9 is multiplied 5 times. Already 4 times you have multiplied. और एक बार multiply कर लेंगे 0.5 times. 5 minus 5 is 0. So 0.1 to the power of 0, 1. Anything raised to the power of 0 is 1. So multiply 0.59049. This is P of 5. Now P of R greater than equal to 4 is equal to P of 4 plus P of 5. ये P of 4 है और ये P of 5. दोनों को ऐड कर लो 0.91854. तो probability that at least 4 ships arriving safely at the port is 0.91854. That's it. This is the problem number 4. Now see the problem number 5. An oil exploration firm finds that 5% of the test wells it drills yields natural deposit of natural gas. Oil exploration company ये expect कर रही है कि 5% of the wells it drills will yield natural gas. इसका मतलब 100 wells अगर ड्रिल करेंगी ऑयल कंपनी तो 100 में से 5 wells में से नेचुरल गैस आएगा, बाकी के 95% में से नेचुरल गैस नहीं निकलेगा. फेलियर. तो सक्सेस कब होता है? जब गैस निकल गया तो सक्सेसफुल, गैस नहीं आया तो अनसक्सेसफुल, फेलियर. तो वी आर गिवन P is equal to probability of yielding the natural gas 5%, 0.05. Q is equal to 1 minus P, 1 minus 0.05, 0.95. Then if it drills 6 wells, अगर ये कंपनी ऑयल एक्सप्लोरेशन कंपनी 6 wells ड्रिल करी, यानी N is equal to 6, find the probability that at least 1 well will yield the gas. 6 wells, 6 wells अगर ड्रिल करे तो what is the probability that at least once ये 6 में से कम एक वेल में गैस yield होना, कम से कम एक बोल रहा, तो it is greater than or equal to 1. Greater than or equal to 1, not less than 1. It is saying at least once, कम से कम एक, 6 में से कम एक वेल में नेचुरल गैस yield होना. तो that is the problem. Now see here. Fifth problem. P is equal to probability of yielding the gas 5%, 0.05. Q is equal to 1 minus P, 1 minus 0.05, 0.95. N is equal to 6 wells. According to binomial law, probability of R success, P of R is equal to NCR, P to the power of R, Q to the power of N minus R. So 6CR, 0.05 to the power of R, 0.95 to the power of 6 minus R. We have substituted the values. Probability that at least one well will yield the gas. यानी 6 wells में से कम एक well में तो भी गैस आना, कम से कम एक. तो P of R greater than equal to 1 is equal to P of 1 plus P of 2 plus P of 3 plus P of 4 plus P of 5 plus P of 6. ये पूरे probabilities को मालूम करके ऐड करना, ये लॉन्ग मेथड हो गया. इसका शॉर्टकट मेथड भी है. Whenever we need P of R greater than equal to 1, we can take 1 minus. अब यहां से स्टार्ट कहां से हुआ? 1 से स्टार्ट हुआ, तो 1 से पहले क्या प्रोबेबिलिटी रहेगा? 0. बिलो 1 द प्रोबेबिलिटी इज 0. सो 1 माइनस P of 0. ये जो आंसर आएगा 1 माइनस P of 0, सेम आंसर रहेगा इफ यू एड अप ऑल द 6 टाइम्स. तो ये जो P of 1, P of 2, P of 3, P of 4, P of 5, P of 6 ये कैलकुलेट करके जो आंसर लाएंगे सेम आंसर विल गेट बाय दिस मेथड आल्सो. सो टाइम सेविंग मेथड. तो दिस मेथड विल बी अप्लाइड व्हेनेवर P of R greater than equal to अगर दिया तो. So 1 minus P of 0. तो P of 0 6C0. 0.05 to the power of 0. 0.95 to the power of 6 minus 0. तो 6C0. NC0 1. NC0 is 1 into 0.05 to the power of 0 1. 0.956 minus 0 is 6. So 6 times you multiply 0.95 into 0.95, 0.7351. So 0.7351 is P of 0. So P of R greater than equal to 1 is equal to 1 minus P of 0, 1 minus 0.7351, 0.2649. So 0.2649 is the probability that at least one well will yield the gas. At least one well will yield the gas out of the total wells of 6. 6 wells में से कम एक well में gas आना उसकी probability 0.2649. That's all. So we have completed till now 5 problems. So you have understood how to apply the binomial probability law, right? Simply it needs your calculations. See here, just by watching my video you cannot get the complete command. If you want the complete command, if you want to enjoy the subject, if you want to learn, you have to practice yourself. Same problem you try to calculate yourself. Because normally what I have seen according to my experience, it's very easy to understand the concept, understand the procedure, steps. But it is difficult to calculate. Calculation में आके wrong हो जाते because you don't have the practice of calculating the values. So nobody can help. It depends on your practice. Just like swimming. It's very easy to understand what are the steps to be followed while swimming. But once if you enter the swimming pool, then definitely you can be able to know how difficult it is. It will be a little bit difficult. With practice, you can become a perfect. But it needs your practice. Only by standing beside the swimming pool and saying that it is very easy to learn. That is the biggest mistake. Same procedure, same rule will apply here. Understanding the concept is very easy, but the practice is a little bit difficult. So you have to practice. Hope you understand my point. We'll continue this in the next video.